Hey everyone, it's Libby from Meister Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people, that's Worimi, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides of the universal energies. Do apologise if my voice, the sound of my voice fluctuates over a video. When I'm in the zone, I have no idea how I'm projecting, so just please bear with me. Okay, what are we going to have a look at today? First of all, I want to have a look at Tucker or Viktor Orban in Hungary. So Tucker with an F, we all know who Tucker with an F, Carlson was sacked from Fox, has his own channel. He's been over in Hungary recently interviewing Viktor Orban, who is the Prime Minister, President, I assume over there. Yeah, that was a cat walking past. Interesting interview. I Googled to see if I could find any information on it, and the only information on the interview I could find was from a extreme conservative far-right online news outlet. And it was an interesting analysis that they did. Basically, they were rah-rahing the interview, but it was again Tucker was claiming that Hungary is freer than the US. If anyone's in Hungary, please let me know your thoughts. Spouting into the vacuum that Ukraine is losing the war against the invasion, and claiming that Ukraine was not a democracy, and it was just the usual far-right conservative rantings. Now, if you are of a right leaning, please don't bother to comment, because I shall just remove your comment. But it was quite interesting. I didn't look at the interview itself. I read the reporting on it. I just want to have a look to when someone asked the question, and I wrote it down in my notebook. And for those that want to know what my notebook looks like, this is what my notebook looks like. I wrote it down in my notebook. First thing I got was just a yelling into the vacuum. Now, I have read on Viktor Orban before. I have read on the Hungary elections. Yeah, very dubious elections. Lot of manipulation is what I get, if I remember correctly. If you are curious about that, just put Hungary in the search option and that video should come up. Well, now I've dropped all my cards everywhere. Hang on 2 seconds. Sorry about that. So I'm using my Trip and Wait Tarot. I just want to have a look to see what's Tucker actually. Yeah, he's what's Tucker with an F actually up to? He's trying to hang himself again. He's trying to find, first of all, he's trying to find relevance, is what my boys are telling me. Relevance, but he's also trying to. Oh, that's an interesting feel. Despite the persona that Tucker puts out, he's actually a very weak person, and thank you, he needs to attach himself to. Did he have something in his childhood where he was never good enough for daddy or something? He has this. The feeling I'm getting is that he has to attach himself to a strong man and have the acceptance of said strong man to actually have any validation in his life for himself. Yeah, I'd be interested in what his upbringing was like. Yeah, so as I split the deck, we've got that Emperor, the strong man, but the truth is it's just going to lead again to heartbreak and loss and disappointment for him. And yeah, okay, right. Okay, they're telling me to get on with the reading, so let's have a look. Let's have a look. What is the energies behind Tucker being in Turkey? Acceptance. I'm just getting the word acceptance. Oh, very bizarre. Okay. Show me. It's a bit like, okay, thank you. I'm being reminded of Andrew Tate in Romania. I mean, the reason why they go to these countries, they go to these countries is because they can find a following there. Okay, let's have a look. Jamie, why is Tucker Carlson in Hungary? Where's Tucker Carlson in Hungary? That one. Oh, if you heard a little noise, that was the dog. Spot coming back in through the dog door. Here he makes an appearance. Okay, come on down. Let's have a look. Why is Tucker in Hungary? Oh, yeah. Yep. Just to be able to literally spout his lies and hatred and um, because he's been exposed in the US for what he truly is at the core of himself, this is his soul journey coming up out of the swamp. Okay, let's see where this goes. But the light of the moon, and the moon does not look very impressed, and we are in a super full moon at the moment. But this is about literally coming up out of the swamp, the seedy underbelly, trying to perpetuate. Okay, crossed by the Ace of Swords. The truth cutting through. The truth cutting through. Okay, so thank you. I don't know what his audience was like when he did the Trump interview on Twitter. I haven't even looked at that. There's been no media reports out of it whatsoever. He's trying to, yeah, it's because he's not getting the audience in the US because the truth is coming through. Okay, behind the scenes, wealth, money, it's always about money. Surrounding himself by yes men, but I do notice that the bird there has its jesses on and its hood. It's being it's had its eyes covered. And then we have the King of Swords. Oh, prosecutor. So this is the energies behind the scenes. Trying to maintain his wealth, surrounding himself by yes people, surrounding himself by what he perceives as wealthy. And we've got the prosecutors here. So what's he doing? Yeah, he's trying to rekindle his past because the prosecutors back in the US are shining a light on his dealings. I don't know that he'll come back to the US is the feeling I get. The karma hanging over him, yeah, he's literally got his back up against the wall with the messaging that he's putting out there, and he's reaping what he has sowed financially. He's, yeah, he's, okay. He's, okay. He's desperately trying to regain the glory he had in the US, so he's seeking out another Trumpian strongman, if that makes sense. But the karma hanging over him is he's he's yelling into the vacuum, and he's in the process of reaping what he has sowed. Future going forward, King of Wands, the courts. Don't know if Hungary's got an agreement with the US. The courts, the legislators, the true strongman, my Zelensky card, my Navalny card. We've got the salamander here. Now, the salamander, if anyone knows their reptile hood, um, if the leg gets cut off, the tail gets cut off, it regrows. It can survive underwater and on land, in the swamp and on land. I'm just seeing he's attaching himself to the strong man, trying to spout his message. I don't know whether he's been heard. Here we've got Emotion. Okay, thank you. Like all cards, this has a lot of meanings. For me, it's the US voter, as well as what they're telling me. It's the emotional fulfillment card. Does he have family? Has his family joined him over there? But this is about an end of a cycle with emotional fulfillment. But it's a lot of messaging coming out really quickly in a downwards angle. It's transformative. And we've got full illumination, finding himself exposed overseas. Overseas. And we've got then the Queen of Wands, the all-seeing cat, courts, and judgment, an ending, a collective awakening, an inevitability, that judgment, and he's going to find himself out in the cold because of his financial and moral corruption. A lot of work going on behind the scenes following his money trail and his manipulation. If you remember correctly, and he's going to find himself. Truth is going to wound him, and he's going to have to retreat. If you remember correctly, he was convicted of money fraud. Oh no, not that wasn't Tucker, that was Bannon. So what are the courts after Tucker for? But he's going to find, I'm confusing him with Bannon just in that particular thought with the conviction. But he's, okay, thank you. Going back to that Five of Pentacles card, he's trying to find, he's trying to seek lost glory and he's not going to get it, is what I'm getting. And he's trying to rebuild his finances and he's not going to get it. I see the courts bringing something forward for him. Yes, do I see Tucker? Cards for Mars, but we've got the courts at the moment. The legal crossroads that he will find himself at in front of the swamp that is going to bring healing and a plan coming to fruition. Bringing back moderation, but he's also going to try and spin it. He's going to try and spin and make an offer. But we have the Wheel of Fortune and the Tower card. It's not going to work. It's not going to work for him. Okay. Want to have a look at Viktor Orban or Orban, Viktor Orban, leader of Hungary. What's in store for Viktor Orban? Why has he chosen this interview with Tucker Carlson? What's coming up for Viktor Orban? What's coming up for Viktor Orban? Why did he choose this interview with Tucker Carlson? The only mention of it I can find, I don't even know where it was released. I can't, whether it was on mainstream media or not. The only written word mention I can find of it is in this far-right conservative online website. Let's have a look. What's coming up for Viktor Orban? Sword of Truth. Sword of Truth cutting through, piercing the crown, truth coming forward. If I remember correctly, when I read on Orban and the election, there was a lot of dubiousness in regards to the Hungarian election. So there's truth coming for him and an ending, significant ending of a cycle for him. Foundation, there's judgment, there's a collective awakening. A collective awakening to the message that he's spouting out there. In the past, money laundering, dark money, working with others in secret. Crowning this reading, the King of Pentacles. This is him, how he sees himself as the ruler, the mentor, the financial astute. Now, don't get me wrong, the economy of Hungary is actually, it's turned around and is doing well, and he does still have support, but I'm just looking at the future for Victor himself, not for Hungary. So let's see where this goes. The smug merchant. It's also be very careful what you wish for. Careful what you wish for. Externally for him, okay, that was me going, yeah, by the way. Yeah, it's, I think okay, what I'm getting is that he thinks he's all doing hunky-dory and there's a good chap and yippee-ki-yay and all the rest of it, but he's not looking where he's going as he's heading for a cliff externally. Internally for him, yeah, ending. Now, I don't know whether, yeah, okay. That was me going, yeah, again. Yeah, okay. Significant ending where this emperor type figure is trampled underfoot. Here, his crown is dislodged, and it's the dawn of a new day, an ending for him. Yeah, culmination of a cycle. Okay, thank you. I'm getting a legacy of riches, oligarchs, but we've got the youth, and he thinks he's sitting there very comfortable, but you've got the youth in the background discussing the outcome, the magician, the ability to pull a rabbit out of a hat. We've got then the infighting. I'm not saying revolution infighting, but party infighting, obstacles in his path for that rabbit. We have his circles of support, but here we have legislators, courts, a strong male figure coming forward. Okay, thank you. It is entertainment only. Tucker and Orban in the interview, I gather, we're still rah-rahing to Putin, but this is my Zelensky and Navalny card. So and claiming that Ukraine is losing and that they should just put down their arms and all the rest of it. Yeah, okay. And here, being forced to retreat, being wounded by the truth and forced to retreat, and justice. I'm really getting here huge draw to prosecutors having to defend himself, reaping what he sows is abuse of power on the base. I'm really getting that he's when things, and it's not an if, when things in Ukraine and Russia, okay, I'm just going to put it this way, he's going to go down on the wrong side of history is what I'm getting. Both of them. Going to go down on the wrong side of history. Okay, sorry that went a little bit long. Thank you for joining me. Take care. I shall catch you shortly.